This episode sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, promo code Opie to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice to get a boner. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Yo, I clicked on the Zoom.
Oh, well, were you put in a waiting room?
Yeah, I was in a waiting room waiting for you.
Okay, well, for some reason you came up as someone named Bill. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, you're Bill? Okay, go click the link again, because I sent a message in the chat, like, who is this? To see if it was someone like dive bombing. All right, I'll just let that person in. That's you. Okay, cool.
All right, so we're doing this with the Zoom?
Yeah.
All right. Mute, unmute.
Hey!
You got me?
I just heard you, yes.
Hey,
yes.
Matt Farah. What's up, buddy?
Yes. Hi.
What's going on? Why the hell do you want to do this on Zoom?
Because it's more fun when you can see someone a little bit, because it's just a little better.
I don't want to see anyone while I'm in self-quarantine or
I know, you look like Howard Hughes at the end of the game.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a fucking incredible Blanton's single barrel, very rare. It was a gift from a friend of mine.
Nice.
And I just finished it. He gave it my birthday 2 years ago, and this is the end right here. Yeah, I'm trying to not drink too much in quarantine. You know, I'm really keeping it to pretty much just the weed and the wine, and I'm not really keeping the liquor.
Oh, that should take care of the problem.
Well, the coronavirus has really killed the wholesale ganja. Prices are tanked, so we get cheap weed. It's an essential service. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
how you doing, man? I haven't talked to you since Vic died, and man, that fucking blows.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Is this what happens when you hit 50? Now they just start dying faster?
I don't know, man. I mean, that's, I've seen a lot of guys go at this point. I think it goes with radio, and I think it goes with comedy. I think you lose a lot of guys at an earlier age because the party.
The lifestyle, man. That lifestyle is so gnarly.
Yeah. Well, there was nothing wrong with Vic Henley, though, man. And out of nowhere, he gets a pulmonary embolism, excuse me.
That's so sad. I mean, I hope he didn't feel any pain. You know, I hope it was just fucking dunzo, you know, and
he went out quickly.
I suppose it's good.
But now they're saying that you could get a pulmonary embolism or a stroke from the coronavirus.
Apparently, yeah, I'm sure you can. I don't know. Are we going to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole about this one?
I mean, the people I talked to that were close to Vic Henley, they said he was tested for the coronavirus. And,
oh, really?
And it came back negative. So, but he was hit by a car. You heard that, right?
What? Like he had a heart attack or an embolism and was then hit by a car?
No, man. One of the last podcasts I did with him, well, we did a few actually, because I was leaning on him after Carl died, and then Vic died. Yeah. This is just crazy.
I know.
I want to go back to the simpler times when we're out there in California in that lovely ride of yours going to get oysters.
That was nice, man. And actually, I have to tell you, I have to thank you for introducing me to Guy, because he's been really nice to me ever since, actually. I think he's a really underrated human being.
He gets a bad rap. He's as nice as they come, that Guy Fieri. He's unbelievable.
I mean, really, really interesting person, I think.
Yeah.
And really, really kind.
Remember his house?
It's fucking sick. I love that house. That shit almost burned. You know, that shit almost burned down like right after we were there, right?
Oh, I know. We were in touch. The wildfires out there on the West Coast came very close. They actually burnt down a lot of his property, but it didn't hit the house.
Remember the solar panels? Fire took out the solar panels. Remember them? They were off in the backyard there behind the
Oh, yeah.
That little pool house.
Oh, yeah.
That's how close it was. It took out the solar panels. They're right behind the house. That was crazy.
Oh, no, I know. Because I was checking in on him, and he's like, oh, man, I am so fucking lucky. It was really close, and he just built that house.
I know. That house is ill. Everything in that house weighed as much as a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously,
yeah.
Industrial grade.
Right.
And I can't tell you the number of people I've told about his kitchen and just how sick the kitchen was, because it's just like everything you'd expect from a Food Network chef's home kitchen. Just like when Carl came to my house, he told me, and I don't know if we talked about this, but he told me the one thing I need in my kitchen was the pedals.
Right.
Like restaurants have the sink, the water pedals, the hot and cold pedals.
Yeah.
That changes the game. That was Carl's the suggestion.
Yeah.
It turns out I looked into this later.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you know how expensive they are, dude. Like you could get a basic just a cold water pedal.
Okay.
One single pedal, cold water.
Yeah.
It's probably like $200.
Right.
But if you want a hot and a cold pedal that actually deliver hot and cold water, bro, you're so far in the thousands.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
You got plumbers coming in. It's a whole fucking to do.
It's like a major job.
When Guy was like, I said, Guy, that's what Carl told me. I said, what do you think would be the ultimate upgrade for my home kitchen? And he goes, it's all about those BTUs, brother.
Yeah.
Like, that's a perfect line.
Yeah. And he fired up those BTUs and whipped up that shrimp for us, man. Remember?
Dude,
that was so
the
good. The
quality of flame that came out of that stove.
Right.
To make the shrimp.
Man, that was a good time. You really, I think we talked about it, maybe even on the podcast, but you really helped me get through the whole Carl thing. You were there for me, and I'll never forget it. You pushed me forward, man, and, we went for that ride, and we got the oysters, and I felt like I could breathe again finally. And then
that was a good day.
And then
driving along the coast in fog to get oysters is always that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that ride. But and then you came to New York and we did the Carl thing at Pig Beach when times were a lot.
Party.
That was a great party.
Enjoyed that party.
I lost you early though, man.
Well, you were podcasting. You know what fucked me up at that party? Is my mother-in-law and sister-in-law showed up.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and they they're lovely people, and it was a nice surprise. They live near there. It was a nice surprise to see them. And I had like a couple of friends from like back in New York who showed up, and I got sucked into my like old school friends plus fans popping in, and then you were recording and food and that.
Well, I couldn't really have a good time. I felt like I had to kind of document that whole event for Carl. And then finally, when that was over, I could finally start moving on. And then I started leaning on Vic. I would have leaned on you, trust me, but you live on the West Coast and I live
I was trying to get you to, and then I called you a bitch for not flying out here, and then they shut the whole state down like 4 days later.
You so owe me an apology.
You would have been so stranded in like my guest room.
Oh, like that would have sucked. I would have enjoyed that, man.
Really good.
You got the Pacific. You got the Pacific Ocean covered, and I got the Atlantic Ocean covered. So we couldn't be further apart. We're both looking at the ocean as we do this. You were trying to get me to fly out to California to podcast, and we were going to go see Pearl Jam. And I remember talking to you. I'm like, Matt, this shit is getting crazy. This is getting serious. And you're like, oh, stop being, what'd you call me again? A bitch?
A bitch. I called you a bitch. Yeah,
a bitch bang? Stop being a bitch bang. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's in April. Give me a couple weeks. And sure enough, they shut this shit down quick. I went
away. I went to Tahiti at exactly the right time. I was in Tahiti for the last 10 days of February.
Yeah.
I got back like March 2nd.
Yeah.
And like a week later, it was like super fun. It was weird because I got, I was like off the grid pretty much. And I got back and everyone was like, what was it like? And I was like, oh, it was like so sick. The water was so blue and blah. And they were like, no, the coronavirus. I was like, fucking coronavirus. I was on a fucking boat. I don't know anything about that. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, Jesus, this is real ass shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember seeing your pictures. I remember seeing your pictures, and I was thinking, man, the door is closing. You might get stuck in Tahiti. I mean, that wouldn't have been That wouldn't have been that
amazing.
bad. That would have been amazing, right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I could fuck around in Tahiti for like 6 months and not feel the least bit bad about it.
What do you like about Tahiti? Oh, my God. Hold on a minute.
You got muted. Where'd you go?
I said, what do you like about Tahiti? And then my financial advisor's calling me at 8 o'clock at night. That can't be good. That probably means he wants to sell everything tomorrow.
Oh, no. Or he just, you have a voice alert triggered for Tahiti. If you start discussing vacations, your financial advisor auto dials you. Have you ever been in that part of the world, like the South Pacific kind of area?
No, man, no.
Bro, it is the craziest. Like, the Tahiti is, if you're not familiar with it, is basically Hawaii. If you left Los Angeles and flew to Hawaii, but you kept flying on that trajectory for 2 more hours.
Right.
It's like halfway between Hawaii and the north coast of Australia, right?
Okay.
But it's basically a chain of islands, sort of similar to Hawaii, but a lot more islands. I only went to like 4 of the 100+ islands, but like I've never seen water that blue. I've never seen colors like that. I've never seen a ton of shit that we saw there, and it was like Tahiti is French Polynesia. Ooh. And so the French part comes out in really interesting ways. Yeah. Like baguettes are like everywhere. Baguettes. And they got really good coffee and French wine. Yeah. You're drinking Bordeaux's and shit, which is really, really interesting. Right. And we were on a sailboat. I'm a captain, so I chartered a sailboat. We fucking chilling. Oh, that's awesome. And it's just, you anchor on the reef and you're in like 5 feet of water. It's just crystal clear. Right. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, when we get back to normal, maybe I could take a trip to Tahiti.
We first have to do the Hudson River one, which I still, maybe in the fall, if it's chill, we should do the Hudson River one.
I think we should do that. Yeah, we've been talking about that forever, ever since I met you through Carl when we did the famous yacht cast. That was the first time I met you, man.
If I can travel back east for like the fall and it's not fucking sketchy and all that, like I would happily do the Hudson River, and I can just swing by and pick you up on the North Shore of Long Island.
I would like that. You could drop me off at my New York City apartment so I could see it. Mm-hmm. We ditched that place a month and a half ago, and I've only been back one time so far just to get bills.
Did you go like full hazmat suit?
Dude, I sprayed my way in and out of the building. I went because I needed to save my fish. We have tropical fish.
And shit! Really?
And it was do or die because I know a bunch of people in the building and a cleaning lady that was still kind of cleaning our place because I felt bad. Doesn't really have a job because we're not there. So I'm like, all right, can you at least feed the fish? And then it got to a point I'm like, I'd feel so guilty if the cleaning lady got coronavirus because she had to go in my building to feed tropical fish. So then it was go time, and I left pretty much really, really late at night. Got to the building. Reg was there, one of the building guys, and he said, I'm the only one working. And you got to understand, my building's huge. There's usually at all times 10 to 12 people working. He's like, yeah, I'm the only one. I'm like, are you serious? He goes, yeah. He goes, Greg, 90% of the people in this building are gone and aren't coming back. I'm like, oh my God. So long story short, I sprayed my way all the way into my apartment. I slept 5 hours. I broke down the fish tank, grabbed a few other things, and sprayed myself all the way back to my car. And the only person I saw was Reg. That was it.
Did you like Ziploc bag the fish and you have a new fish tank at your place now? Or are the fish...
Oh, no, the fish, they're thriving, man.
Okay. All right, cool.
No, I set up another tank here, and then It was go time, and I went and got them, and I put them in milk gallon jugs.
Nice.
Yeah. Because everyone's like, you got to put them in bags, you got to do this. And then I'm thinking, maybe if I empty half the water out of the fish tank, I'll just, put the fish tank in the back of my car.
Oh, no, that would have been terrible.
No, I was thinking put some plastic over the top, put some breathing holes in it. Yeah, if I get a little...
Bro, I did that once as a goof. And the point, but as a goof, not to keep fish alive. The point of the goof was that the car got incredibly fucking trashed.
I love it.
I'm really glad you didn't do that. If you did that, I would have laughed my fucking balls off.
Yeah. No,
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you fished it. Okay, that's good.
But it was a good trip, and I'm blessed. I mean, I hate these fucking celebrities that are telling everyone to stay home, and they're in these incredible spots and mansions, and you can see the foreigners in the background taking care of their kids and cooking and saying, times are tough and we're all struggling here, but it's really important we all stay home.
I know.
And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Have some awareness.
Ellen lost me when she fucking sat with George Bush at the Skybox. It was all, yeah. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
No, you guys don't get it. We're friends.
Yeah,
he's very nice to me. I'm trying not to complain because I'm very lucky to be stuck where I'm stuck.
Yeah,
and so I'm not. You're not going to hear fucking everyone's. How are you doing? Great.
Right.
Fine, everything's fine.
Right.
No problem.
Right. Well, the social distancing where I'm at, if anyone is 600 feet from you, you start screaming.
You load the sniper.
Hey, we gotta stay 600 feet apart. By the way, how's the fishing down there?
I honestly, dude, I feel really bad for anybody that's like in Manhattan and stuck there. Like that sucks. Like it really and in LA, like it's one of these things. Like one of the shitty things about LA is like you're always in your car and you don't interact with people on the street. But like, now there's some shit like this happens, and like by comparison, very few people in LA get sick because I can go about my whole fucking day without going near another person if I want to.
Can I tell people where you're at? We basically have said it over the years, right?
What? We're in Venice?
Yeah,
where I live?
Yeah,
I live in Venice.
Yeah, so you're in Venice. So I mean that's not a hot spot for the coronavirus, thank God. And I'm imagining that you're getting around pretty good. I mean, I'm sure everything is shut down like everywhere else, but
I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, if you've ever been into Venice, like the boardwalk with the fucking crazy people and the street vendors and all that shit. I mean, that's like straight boarded up, and that's really wild. There's some really surreal photos on Instagram. The city. This is such a fucking waste of resources, but there's a very famous skate park in Venice Beach. And I think you've been there, Opie, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know where it is, of course. I didn't know that was Venice. Tell the story. I love this one.
Wait. I don't know if you're talking about the same thing I'm talking about. What I'm about to tell you is at the famous skate park, the city showed up with fucking excavators and filled it with sand.
Yeah, the bulldozers. Yes.
Me and Hannah, because it was super windy, so me and my wife we take walks on the beach, right? And the beaches are closed, right? Everything's closed,
right?
But if you're away from other people, you're a local. You're just taking a walk. If you're not posted up, for the day at a beach, a day at the beach, they don't really give you any shit. So we see these guys like digging at the skate park, and we're like, oh wow, it must have been super windy and skate park filled with sand. Like that's crazy. And then Hannah goes, are they? Matt, she goes, are they putting sand in
what dicks
in the park?
What fucking dicks? Oh my God!
They filled it with sand.
That's someone that hated that skate park and just couldn't wait, right?
Yeah.
You know what this podcast is missing? Boners. I love Blue Chew, man. They have been supporting this podcast for a very, very long time, and I'm very grateful. And this episode also sponsored by Blue Chew. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. That's if you could get the kids busy doing something else as we're in self-quarantine. It's been a bit difficult, hasn't it? Yes. If you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. And Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office. No, we're not doing that. Or wait in line at the farm. No, we're not doing that. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. Yes, we're doing that. They're made in the good old USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy, and best of all, There's no more awkwardness. Right now, I got a special deal for you, my friend. Visit BlueChew.com. That's the color blue, by the way. BlueChew.com. Get your first shipment free when you use the special promo code OPIE, O-P-I-E. Just pay $5 shipping. Everyone's always asking me, hey, Ope, how do we support the podcast? You support it by getting a boner from BlueChew.com. Promo code OPIE to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Who's this guy?
Sidebar. Yo, this is my homie Dave. I'm muting him. He's my boy, and he was friends with Carl, too, from my wedding. And I just told him he could hang out silently while we podcast. He could creepily linger.
What's up, Dave? How are you, buddy?
Dave Finesilver, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you?
What's going on, Dave? You knew Carl?
I knew Carl from Matt's wedding. Yeah, I supplied him with tons of bourbon.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, Carl took over Matt's wedding. I was supposed to go to that as Carl's date. That son of a bitch.
Wish you had. If all those photographs of him and Nell actually had him and Opie in it, that would have been amazing. I should just Photoshop Opie's head. I feel bad about that. So Opie, this is my friend Dave Finesilver, who I just invited to bomb the call.
Nice.
Dave is a visual effects supervisor in Hollywood. He's very successful. He does special effects and visual effects for films and television shows. He's worked on some pretty big name shit. And he also has one of the craziest, most over-the-top bourbon collections you've ever seen a person have. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And so he was bonding with Carl at the wedding over bourbons and shit.
Yeah. What's your favorite bourbon of all time, Dave?
I mean, I like Weller is always good. It's my go-to.
Yeah.
Old Weller, really good.
The bottle on the shit that I'm drinking right now, Dave gave me for my birthday 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So he was the one that supplied that. Yeah.
I texted him a picture of the empty bottle, and then I said I was going to podcast with you, and he's been an Opie and Anthony fan and an Opie and Carl fan, and he was like, yo, let me bomb this fucking call.
Well, send me some bourbon, Dave.
Yeah, when you come out, for Pearl Jam, when it gets rescheduled, we're gonna hang out by Dave's pool up in the valley in white people land and fucking drink some bourbon by his pool.
Beautiful.
Farah will cook. I'll supply the bourbon, and we can all hang.
I got to be honest. I didn't drink much bourbon until I met Carl, and he was slowly turning me on to some good stuff.
What was the best one that he gave you?
I don't even know.
He got you off the girly beers?
I'm drinking a Shock Top Lemon Shandy right now.
Are you really? Oh, that shit is good. I like Shock Top Shandy. I like that shit.
Summer Shandy is my favorite beer. That stuff is so good.
Yeah. Well, I like the Line and Kugels.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
The Line and Kugels has a grapefruit beer, and that's where I get in trouble because everyone makes fun of me. But it is so damn good because it still tastes like a beer. And then they got a lemon and a few other flavors. I really, really enjoy those. And then there's a super fan that's been on the podcast a few times, Dick Cox. The last time I actually partied and hung out with Vic Henley, it was on the podcast, Matt, at Gephardt's.
Oh, yeah.
And Dick Cox brought a whole bar into Gephardt's for us. A whole bar he set up in that area that we've podcasted from.
Up at the front? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And he brought a peach beer called Son of Peach or Son of a Peach.
Son of a Peach. Yeah, I know Son of a Peach.
Oh, wow. Is that some good stuff? But
they're starting to sell some really weird shit out here. I'm seeing some really strange stuff in the stores, and I'm fucking bored because I'm stuck at home, so I'm really contemplating it. Like, Dave, have you seen the peanut butter whiskey yet?
Oh, my God. Undrinkable. It's undrinkable. It was one of the worst things I've ever had.
Oh, my. It sounds awful.
I picked up a bottle in the store, and I was like, what is this? To the guy in the store, he's like, it's very good.
Yeah.
Sell a ton of it. Everybody like. I was like, I don't know. I got to ask Dave about this shit.
It's like the hottest thing right now, the Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Like, they can't keep it. It's everywhere. But I was like,
undrinkable,
my brother-in-law's obsessed with it. He's like, you got to get it and put it in old fashioned. I had one sip, and I was like, you could have the bottle.
Oh, my God. That sounds terrible. I had a s'mores beer during the fall. You know, I was looking at some of those fall beers. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like the fruity beers as much as it's been portrayed on the podcast. But with that said, you know, I'll try some of the pumpkin beers and whatnot. And my beer distributor had a s'mores, and it was god awful, man. It was
I
terrible.
can't think of any universe that would be drinkable. That sounds absolutely
Like
terrible.
chocolate beers. Chocolate beer is a good thing. You think that'd be all right?
Yeah. No, not at all, man. But
No, that's disgusting.
But that was the last time I saw Vic Henley there, Matt Farah, at that spot where we podcasted, where we went before the memorial for Carl when we went down to his restaurant for that big memorial. Remember the edibles? We got to talk about that again. Dave,
Oh my God,
Dave, do you
that
know about
porch,
the edibles?
By the way,
I don't know about that story of edibles, but I know the Farah edible stories.
No, I went to I knew I was going to be hanging out with Vic, and so I knew Vic liked edibles, and so I brought some of these things that are called plus gummies, which they look like it's a gummy cube. It's a little 1 centimeter cube. It's a gummy, right? And it's a tin. There's like it's like a little 2-inch tin or whatever, like Altoids kind of tin.
Yeah.
That comes with these fucking things, and I brought them. And I don't know, I guess I left my bag in the sun or something because all the gummies turned into one gummy. And so I pulled it out and we had one gummy and I had a good laugh. But Vic was like, "Oh, this is no problem at all," and just whipped out a pocket knife and started just carving shit out of it, hacking out.
Yeah, because
no concept of dosage whatsoever.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, we were trying to figure out the dosage, and I'm like, Matt, we still got to go to La Cubana and do it up right for Carl and all this. And then, yeah, like you said, Vic just said, "Give me that," and then we had a pocket knife, and he was just ripping giant pieces off this. This edible that melted all together. And remember, we were looking for the tin later on in the night because we're thinking, we're feeling good. Maybe we'll take a little more. And
I found the tin. It was empty.
It was empty. Vic slammed the whole thing. And
that incident affected my edibles buying habits ever since. I now look at packaging and I like individually wrapped.
Oh, good.
I prioritize individually wrapped.
Good. And when we were out in Santa Rosa doing did you watch the grocery games thing, by the way, Matt?
I did. It was very sweet. I really enjoyed it. I had a big glass of fucking bourbon and I smoked a fucking half a gram L to my face.
Nice.
And me and Hannah watched it, and I thought it was very, very charming. I especially liked how they cut out all of your lines.
Just imagine watching it in front of your family. I'm like, but I said some funny stuff. But they had to fit in a lot of people and stuff.
Wait for the BTS, bro. Wait for the BTS.
Yeah.
I'm all over it.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, because I call up Matt and he's in LA and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm in Santa Rosa. We're filming the Carl tribute for Guy Fieri's grocery games." And you got up there fast. How many hours again from LA to Santa Rosa?
I think I did it in under 6. Didn't I do it in under 6?
Oh, without a doubt.
Right?
Yeah, I had that Boxster Spider. That thing was delightful.
Yeah.
And it was a Euro spec car, so they gave me unlimited mileage because they didn't give a fuck because they couldn't sell it. And they were just like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to put like 1,500 on this in 4 days. And they're like, yeah, cool, have fun.
Yeah.
And it was delightful. I really made some excellent time. Because I get up early as fuck, so I was leaving LA at 4 o'clock in the morning. I remember I left LA when I woke up in the morning, and I passed San Francisco before morning traffic.
Oh my God.
That's how
crazy.
fast I went.
That's crazy. I remember you saying something like it was a little over 5 hours. I
think it was 5:40 maybe. I was moving. It was a good drive.
And then you got to the hotel. I had to be on set, and I was incredibly hungover on tequila because those chefs know how to drink, and they were all feeling it because of the Carl thing. And at the hotel bar, the tequila was flowing nicely. And wow. Remember?
I really enjoyed that party, man. All those chefs were so nice.
Yeah.
And they were really interesting people and really personable. And there was a bunch of different fucking weirdos up there that Carl knew from all over the place, and they were all really, really interesting. And Guy had no problem with all these people in his house, which was like fucking mind blowing. Like if I was that famous, I'd have been having an aneurysm.
Do you remember? So It was Carl's tribute show, so you had all those people that flew from all over the place, you know, Carl's family and friends, and then you had the crew, and then you had his chef friends and everyone in between. Remember, he also threw a housewarming party for the people that built his house.
He like combined the whole thing. So the Saturday was like us, like, you know, the chefs and Carl's people, and some media people, and it was also a wrap party for Guy's grocery games too. I think that was the last episode they filmed of the season. So it was them, and then also like 100 construction workers that just finished his house and their kids.
And remember the speech he gave? He gets up there with his wife. Probably shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it because like you said earlier, you know, I think Guy gets a bad rap. He basically said, I invited all you guys here because you built my dream home. And a lot of you, you know, when you're building a house like this, you never get to really see the finished product because, you know, your job's done early on and then you move on to something else. And I just want to share in the moment with the people that built this thing for me and my family. And I'm like, God, and people have like tears in their eyes and stuff because it was just so nice. And then Guy's like, my house is your house for the next few hours. Eat and drink and do whatever the hell you want. And people were just wandering around his property. Remember? Like you said, there was like 100 people there checking out his car collection, checking out that barn, the pool.
The car collection was me. I straight up asked.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you need to show me the garage. And he turned that into, hey, who wants to go see the garage?
Yeah.
Fucking roll the flavor down. All right.
And then the doors of the garage went up and people went, oh my God.
Yeah, you got some fun stuff in there. You got good cars.
And
What's the coolest car he has? Did he wow you?
He didn't have any one thing that was like beyond anything I'd seen. He had, let's see, there was one Ferrari, a 430 Spider. There was a Corvette convertible. There was his main car was like a Rolls with like a body kit and rims on it, and the license plate was forked, which I thought was all the cars had really funny food themed license plates.
Yeah.
All of them. Forked is the only one I remember, but they all had funny plates. There was like 2 Chevelles, a black and a yellow. And then he had a bunch of trucks, and he had a bunch of Jeeps, and he had a bunch of quads and side-by-sides and toys and that kind of stuff. He didn't it wasn't a collection of supercars, and even I think the Ferrari, I think he's like, it's not really my style, but it was a gift from somebody.
Right.
It was cool. It wasn't. There's a picture that goes around pretty regularly of him in front of like 9 yellow cars, and the one of the Chevelles is the only yellow car he's got left. He's like, yeah, that shit got to be a little too much. He's like, I don't drive yellow cars anymore, and I don't drive with the top down anymore. He's like, it's a little too much.
And he was downplaying it. Remember, Matt? He was downplaying it, and someone pulled us aside and said, this is nothing. He's got a whole bunch of other cars somewhere else.
Yeah.
Dave jumped in as you were talking about that skate park. I think that's just... I just think that's such a dick move with everything going on, man. And you
don't let them skate. That's a fucking crime.
And you know the skaters, come on. I think they would be okay, right? They're not overcrowding the place, right?
It does get really crowded. No, it does. It's one of those things. I think filling it with sand is a dick move. I mean, but I do agree with closing it. I mean, everything else around it is closed. Like there's bathrooms, there's like volleyball courts, there's all this shit around it. All of it's closed. So closing it is not really the issue. It's just filling it with sand seems like an unnecessary problem.
No kidding. So how do you think this ends, Matt?
Fuck, man.
Because
you V for Vendetta.
Yeah,
I think it ends like that.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, you know, control through fear, you know, is how that movie starts. And I think there's a lot of sneaky shit that can get past when no one's looking and everyone's scared.
Right.
That's not a very positive outlook to have. But it's either going to be that. I'll take an either or. It's either going to be that, or they develop a vaccine relatively quickly, social distancing works, and we forget about it all within a couple of months, with rare exception. And maybe the takeaway is we put masks on when we're sick, and that's it.
I think we start wearing masks a lot. I didn't realize
like China, like they've been doing in China for fucking 2 decades. It's a pretty normal thing over there.
No, I was talking to my wife about it. So after 9/11, when that hit the city, I said, before 9/11, you never saw anyone walking around with a semi-automatic weapon. And you just used to see like video of that in other countries. And then after 9/11, it became the norm in New York City. You see it a lot. So, So now with the coronavirus, when you used to see people with, masks on, it was always, let's be honest, mostly Asian countries and whatnot. And now I think after the coronavirus, I think it becomes more of a norm in general.
You see the fucking meme from The Princess Bride? He's like, the thing about masks, they're so comfortable. I think everyone's going to be wearing them in the future for The Princess Bride.
And, some of the reporters, when they just have their eyes, those beautiful eyes showing, it's kind of
starting to understand the burqa a little bit.
Oh, if they didn't have it figured out a long time ago, right? They were.
I don't like masks at all, man. I think they're fucking terrible. I do it. I'm not going to be the guy that gets fucking the side eye. So if I go in any indoor space, I don't wear them outdoors. But if I go in any indoor space, I'll put one on, and it fucking sucks. It's terrible. I hate all of it.
You can't breathe properly, and
no.
And I wear some kind of like eyewear, either sunglasses or like regular glasses, so they start fogging up as you're trying to like quickly shop and get out of there, and it's unbelievable. And you mentioned New York. You said when it's less sketchy or whatever, we'll do that trip up the Hudson. I don't know when it becomes less sketchy, because New York's going to be the last place that opens up. As they talk about these other states and cities opening up, I'm like, we're last on the list, obviously. I mean, it's the epicenter of this whole damn thing. And I don't know. I don't know when I tell my wife, all right, I think we could go back to the city, especially because we got 2 small kids. What? They're just going to start going to school again? And I'm going to be okay with that? That's crazy. Right. But in other places where, people aren't living on top of each other, I could see where maybe some of these things would make sense, obviously. I think it's a region-by-region decision. But in the end, man, I think New York City's never going to be the same, where it's going to take years to get back to where we were.
I feel like people aren't going to shake hands anymore after this whole thing.
Oh, my God.
You're going to have to carry hand sanitizer around.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, all carrying hand sanitizer.
I'm happy that we won't be shaking hands anymore. I mean, the one thing about being in the public eye, the amount of sweaty, just disgusting, slimy, greasy hands I have shaken over the years. Oh, my God. I'm like,
hilarious.
Then you've got assholes because they either don't like you or they just want to be dicks. They purposely put their fucking hand down their pants and play with their scrotum or their asshole. Of course. But then,
no, dude, I know how you feel. I go to car shows and my audience is 97% dudes, and you're outside in the summer. And the number of times I gotta put my arm around a fucking sweaty dude, or a dude wants to put his arm around me, and I'm fucking sweaty to get a picture. I'm okay with that not being a thing.
But also being in the public eye, I'm sure you've had the handshake where they give you something in the handshake,
where they pass you a little something.
Yeah, man. The best.
Like what? What are they passing you?
No, the best one back in the day. Me and Anthony were in Boston at WAAF, the only station that really rocks. And we were doing some gig at a bar. The state troopers were there too, and they were fans of ours. And they came by just because they wanted to meet us. So anyway, I'm at the bar, and this fan comes by, and he goes, big fan, you know the deal. And puts out his hand, and I shake his hand, and then I quickly realize he's handing me loose weed. Loose
like a
weed.
Nugget, just a straight nugget.
loose weed with you would think it would be at least joints or whatever. And then I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating or anything. Right after that, the state trooper comes up to me, and I'm like, holy shit, he just saw that. He just saw that. And I got loose weed in my right hand. And he comes up and he says the same thing. Hey, big fan. I just want to say hi. And he reaches his hand out for a handshake. And I'm like, and I awkwardly took my left hand and gave him a girl handshake. And I remember him looking at me, and he's looking in my eyes like, what the fuck, man, you know? And I'm like, oh, I came up with a quick excuse. Something like I sprained my hand or whatever the hell. And he's talking to me about the show, and the whole time I could feel my body's heating up because I'm like, oh, my God, I got loose weed in this right hand. And it's not like today.
It's getting soggy weed.
Oh, yeah. It's not.
Hand. Oh.
And it's not like today where everyone would have a good laugh because it's pretty much, I mean, more or less it's legal. Let's be honest.
That's so funny. I went on a cruise once. I fucking hate cruises, but I went on a cruise to Central America once. And I forget what country we're in. It might have been Costa Rica or I think it might have or Honduras. I'm not really sure. It all kind of blended. But I tried to buy weed from a guy at one of the ports we went to, you know, and I gave him, you know, I don't know, $30 or $40 or whatever it was. And he goes, okay, stay here. And he comes back. And just like you, this dude just hands me a fistful of loose weed. And I'm like, not even a bag, homie? Like nothing. Goes, nope, here you go. And I go, right. I don't have anything. I go, well, what am I supposed to do? So I shoved it into my mesh shorts pocket. Just shoved it in there. It didn't even, and you know, when you get back onto the cruise ship, you do have to go through like a security, and I guess I don't know for weapons or whatever, but it's mostly security theater. But I was like 17, so I was having a panic attack about going through security with a pocket full of weed. Right. But ultimately, I did not get stopped. I got the weed on. It was absolutely terrible weed, but the cruise line was like Holland America, so it's like all old people. There's probably 30 people my age at the time. Yeah. And I was like the hero of everybody for getting weed.
Beautiful.
And yes. And I parlayed into a blowjob from a redhead with very low self-esteem on that cruise. Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, Jenny. That's funny. Oh my God. You've been to Jamaica, right?
Yes, I love Jamaica. It's so fun.
Where they just literally will swim up to you and offer you weed?
Life pro tip, don't buy weed from that guy.
Really?
So, if you say no to that guy, you ask for better weed. You ask for where you can get the best weed.
Yeah.
And then you find that guy and you ask him, no, not this. Where do I get the best weed?
Yeah.
They will eventually send you to a guy named Devin, who I know, and has a gold tooth shaped like a gun.
Yeah.
And he has a store called Sally's Sarongs to Go on the east end of the island, across the street from the Sea Grape Villas. And you will go see him.
Okay.
And he will take you in the back, and he will open his barbecue grill. Yeah. And there will be about 10 pounds of extreme fire in that barbecue grill. And that is where you buy weed in Jamaica.
Oh my, how did you find that out?
Because I went to Jamaica my senior year of college and then a couple times after that.
Yeah.
The people in my fraternity had gone to Jamaica and stayed in the same house in the grill every year for like the last 5 years. And they kept asking for better and better and better weed. And they eventually got to Devon. And Devon had the ultimate hookup for not only weed, but like beers and Valiums and like fishing equipment and like all kinds of crazy fucking shit. And Devon told us this story. Now I don't do coke. I'm not into cocaine. It's not my thing. But a lot of my friends in college who did go to Jamaica were extremely into cocaine. and they said that Devon told us when we were there that the coke that my friends were buying was from the same batch that all the friends previously had bought from, and that he only buys cocaine once every 5 years from the Colombians. And when he buys, it's 100 kilos that gets dropped offshore that he has to scuba dive for.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. And this guy was fucking nuts, dude. But he was chill as fuck. And he thought we were crazy white boys, and we brought him a bubble hash making kit, which we left him. Fucking white boys.
I think I got to get back to Jamaica. I gotta find Devin.
Devin had the fucking hookup, dude.
I would walk the beach every morning, and you want to talk about people watching. It was just simply amazing. You got musicians playing music. You got every other guy trying to sell you weed. What a great place that Jamaica is. And a few guys offered me a tour of the farms.
Yeah, they'll do that. They'll take you up in the mountains.
Dude,
yeah, I'm cool. And the coffee's very good, too.
I'm too white. I wanted to go so bad, but I'm like, this is when I have to realize I'm too white. And they're like, it's only a half hour from here, man. Because I was seeing the same.
Bullets travel very far, very fast.
Yeah. But I was seeing these guys every day on my walk down the beach. I almost felt like I knew them. They
got enormous plants there. They grow they're like 10 feet tall. They're giant.
Yeah.
They grow outdoor with the sun, man.
Yeah. And they're only allowed, what is it, 5 plants or something like that? That's the law in Jamaica, but they all laugh at that. They're like, yeah, we all got 5 plants, that's for sure. But
in California, you're allowed 5 plants or 6 plants, per resident of the house. So,
oh wow,
get a couple more residents in the house, you're good to go.
Oh wow, look at you.
Yeah. I don't grow weed anymore, but I did for sure, and it was nice.
Did you like Did you like what you were growing?
I did, but it was a lot more work. Weed is like, if you have a wholesale connection, weed is so cheap, it's not worth your time to grow it. But unless you want to, as a hobby.
Well, I was gonna say, it sounds like it would be a fun hobby because
if you're into that, that's fine. But I got shit to do, man. I got a fucking job.
Well, I mean, now that we're all stuck in our houses, I took vegetables with the kids and I started growing shit just to see if I could do it. So I got giant potato plants growing. I got I'm trying to think 24 tomato plants. Excuse me. That's not a corona cough, thank God.
Get that checked out, buddy.
No, that's the allergies are kicking in, which makes you even more paranoid. I started growing an apple tree.
Oh, that's cool. That'll be good in 30 years. Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of cool. I know, but we started when we escaped New York, so in a weird way, I want to keep this thing, growing.
Like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah, so far so good though, man.
Have you seen the Miracle Grow? Every business has a coronavirus commercial now. You talked about the fact that every business has a fucking coronavirus commercial.
Yeah.
And it drives me insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's how we're dealing. Don't forget about us. We'll be here for you when you get back to work.
Yeah.
Or the Miracle Grow one is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
When the going gets tough, the tough get growing. I wanted to fucking throw up.
Of course.
I'm making a list in my little notebook here, and any business that has a fucking here's how we're dealing with the coronavirus commercial,
right?
And spent money on that instead of just buying ventilators for people.
Yeah, no kidding.
They can all go fuck themselves.
Of course, I'm totally with you. We're all so used to staying home and doing the social distancing. Don't you find it weird when you watch TV and you see the people in these commercials standing too close to each other? It's starting to freak me out. Or you watch a movie and it's like, God, remember when it was so natural to actually stand next to somebody? Now it just feels creepy when you see it on the TV.
Bro, have you seen Demolition Man recently?
No.
Ew, fluid transfer? The future's going to be a combination of Demolition Man and V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
I don't
Dave's going to fucking make it look awesome.
This is just crazy, man. The whole thing is just nuts.
Speaking of the commercials, there was a Stanley Steamer commercial the other day.
Yeah.
How they were reacting to COVID. And they had 3 guys steaming the house without masks or anything inside the house. My wife goes, I do not want those guys inside my house, let alone without masks.
Yeah, of course.
Just making it real humid in there with steamer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The emails are just as bad as the commercials. Every single company sends an email. Even companies that don't even have to do anything with people.
Yeah. By the way, I'm running out of battery, so we might have to wrap this up, unfortunately.
My friend Christian is absolutely convinced that he had it in San Francisco between Christmas and New Year's.
Bro, you're talking to a guy. Me and my wife are suspicious that we might have had it too.
Really?
Yeah, because after we got back from Disney down there in Florida, we were sick, our whole family, for a month. It was just going around over and over again. And I called a doctor friend of mine, and he put me on a powerful inhaler because he was convinced that I had the flu, and he wanted me to get on top of it immediately. And I'm like, this feels like the flu, but not the flu. And then my wife got sick, and we're starting to be convinced that maybe we actually had this damn thing. You know,
Well, that'd be crazy.
So
hopefully you get that antibody test and you can figure it out.
And then I could be part of the ruling class.
Oh, is that what it's going to be? The antibody people are going to fucking rule over everybody.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
I haven't even thought of that contingency.
You'll have carte blanche and be able to go anywhere you want, wherever you want, because there's no risk.
That's
where you get the green bracelet.
Yeah, exactly.
Bracelet.
Yeah. Yeah. In New York. In New York, they're testing people, and they're finding out a lot of people have the antibodies, and they're like, "Oh my!" They're starting to say a lot more people got this damn thing than they thought at first.
It's fucking crazy, dude. It is. I'm very fortunate to be stuck in a place that's okay to be stuck in.
100%.
Not stuck, I work basically by myself, so I've been able to, for the most part, continue working as well, which is lucky. Not other people, not so much.
Matt, we got to go for the dramatic ending. I got 1% on my phone.
Oh, no!
Yeah, give me the big plug. Matt Farah from the Smoking Tire. Quick, what else you want to promote?
Yeah, the Smoking Tire everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, podcast, all of it. That's it. Nothing else.
And let's start doing this more on a regular basis. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you come out here, we'll do it from Dave's pool and drink all his fucking booze.
Let's do it.
I said you, Matt. I didn't say Dave.
Dave gets to go back on mute.
No, I like Dave. Oh, and that's how it ends. Now they're going to think I hung up on him. My phone just died. There you go. That's a good ending because now they think I hung up on him. All right, guys, thanks for listening to the Opie Radio podcast. You know, maybe tell a friend. Maybe leave a 5-star review. Maybe promote the sponsors if you like. Maybe join the Facebook group. There's a link in the description of this episode so you could join the Pod Squad. We have a really, really good crew. And I want to thank Matt Farah once again from the Smoking Tire, a good friend of mine. All right, guys. Peace. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Boo, 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 boo. Opie Radio. Boo, 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 boo. Boom, 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 boom. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.